Hi peoples, I am Tiago Silvestre, the host of this channel where we talk about Commander and Modern, and today I will show you some of the cards from the new set Modern Horizons 2 that will change Modern.
You don't believe me?
Let's check it out. I wanna start this top 5 cards, but I have to show you an honorable mention. So I have to mention this card. It's Counterspell. You know the counterspells that you have in Modern already. Mana Leak, for example. In late game it will not work. Counterspell will work all the time. And you have Remand, but your opponent will keep the card in their hand, so it's not good. So Counterspell can take out Mana Leak and Remand from your deck, and you only can use Counterspell. So in the top 5 we have Civilium of the Sea and Sky. This is a good addition to the Merfolk. Let's see if we are gonna see Merfolk decks rising. But with this card you can, at the first turn, play a Curse Catcher, following the second turn by a Lord of Atlantis, and on the third turn you can play Civilium, and it will be indestructible, and when he attacks it will draw a card, and it will protect a little bit only your Merfolks. And for 3 mana it's already a 3/4, so every Merfolk deck will use this legendary creature. Next we have Ignoble Hierarch. So this is the Jund version of Noble Hierarch. So if Noble is good, Ignoble will be good too. Next we have Grief. With Grief, by 4 mana, a 3/2 with Menace, that when enters the battlefield your opponent reveal their hand, you choose a non-land card, and that player discards that card. But the best part is that you can evoke this creature by exiling a black card from your hand. So what you can do with this card is evoke it on the first turn, and you can play an Ephemerate, and you exile Grief, and then returning the Grief to the battlefield, so it will stay on a battlefield, and you make your opponent discard 2 cards. And on the next turn, because the Ephemerate have Rebound, you will rebound Grief, and your opponent will again discard a card. So if you can put this combo on turn 1, your opponent will have a tough time against you. Next we have Cauldron Complete, a 7 mana legendary artifact equipment that is indestructible and has living weapons. So you pay 7 mana and it will be equipped on a 0/0 creature already, and it says that equipped creature gets +5/+5 and first strike, trample, indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. So it's a dead touch that exiles the creature. So for 7 mana you get a 5/5 first strike, trample, indestructible, haste, and a best version of a death touch. And both the creature and the equipment are indestructible. So what you can ask more? I think Tron decks can use this equipment, and they can put this equipment in play at turn 3 like they already are doing with Karn. The last card is Urza Saga, and Urza Saga is an enchantment land that produces a colorless mana on the first turn, and on the second turn it gains an ability that you can pay 2 to create a 0/0 construct artifact creature that gains +1/+1 for each artifact you control, and on a third turn you can search your library for an artifact with mana cost 0 or 1 and put on the battlefield. Then this Urza Saga will be sacrificed. So almost every deck can utilize this card very well. For example, Tron can search for an expedition map. The Primeval Titan decks can search for Amulet of Vigor. The Hammer decks can search for Hammer or for Memnite. The Tribal decks or White Winnie decks can search for Ether Vial. And the modular decks can search for Ozolith and Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp, for example. These are only some few examples, but there are many more examples of artifacts for 0 mana or 1 mana that are very good in many decks. This is only a few cards, but this set has many more cards that could change Modern. So if you like this video, just give it a like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye. Oops.